Hey all, Hipper here. So over the weekend here I've had a little more of an opportunity to play the new Pan-Asian cruiser, the Tier 5 Huanghe or however you say it. And I like it. I actually really like it. I've played, I don't know, like probably 20 battles in it today, and it's up there with Exeter at Tier 5, I think. It's very useful. It has a lot of tools, and of course you can pop the torpedo reload on this thing here, but I don't have that. I have the sonar, because the sonar is just way more useful than the torpedo reload. And the other thing this little ship here has up its sleeve is the crawling smoke. And it kind of works a little bit like the Italian smoke, except you can't go full speed. You can go about quarter, half speed, and or you can reverse up, obviously, and then the smoke will follow you. So it means that once you smoke up, you can actually maneuver around quite a bit, more than I thought initially. Of course, that opens up some very interesting tactical plays, and what I have found out that the ship is really good at is capping, contesting caps. So once you get in there, and then if the cap turns out to be a little bit too hot, or like a little bit too many ships or something unexpected, you can just pop that crawling smoke and either get to safety somewhere close by, or you can simply reverse out, like what I'm doing in this situation here. It's a really nice tool to have, and it actually works very, very well. I'm a bit surprised how nice and useful this crawling smoke is, because first time I read about it I was like, oh, that doesn't seem very good. But you can see here it lasts for a minute and a half, so that means you can move around, not very fast mind you, but you can move around for a minute and a half inside a cap while you are undetected. And if anyone's spotted, like in this case here, you can just take pot shots at them. But it's very useful for actually taking caps. Get in there, pop the smoke, and either get to safety or reverse out. It doesn't really matter which you choose. And if any destroyers annoy you, just pop on the sonar, and you'll be able to dodge torpedoes and obviously see the destroyers themselves. So in this case here, we are starting to get a little bit swamped in here. So I am going to reverse out now here. We've taken the cap, or I've taken the cap here. So there's really nothing else to do in here. I don't know why this guy went a little bit too far. Probably because it takes the British cruiser so long to stop. So I'm using my crawling smoke here to cover the both of us while we retreat. And it works beautifully. Like, the only problem with this ship is that you need pretty good players on your team to understand what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to pull off. Like for example, this guy here, he knows, instantly, okay, this is how we do it. If you get a potato team and you're trying to do something fancy in your Huanghe here, you're just gonna get annihilated. And see here, my smoke runs out, and this guy here, he smokes us up again. So this is teamwork. It's a complete random, by the way. And one thing you should know about this ship here is that it is very, very soft, and that's also why I'm being very careful with this Scharnhorst here, because the armor is almost non-existent, although there's enough armor on it to arm everything basically. So it's no Emile Bertin, and the Citadel is also it's not terrible, but it's not the best out there either. So you're going to take Citadels in this thing here, and it doesn't have a heal. I really think that this ship here could do the heal. It is very, very squishy, and even the slightest mistake, you are punished for eternity, more or less, because you have no way of healing back your health, and you're going to take huge chunks of damage if you are not careful in the ship here. But again, it's a great ship. It's fun to play, and I like this crawling smoke and like the strategies it opens up. What I don't like is that we don't have a Pan-Asian cruiser commander yet, because so I cannot put Ingenious on this ship, and trust me, this ship here needs Ingenious. For example, this Gneisenau here, he surprised me I wasn't really sure that he was aiming at me because I don't have ingenious, and if I had that, I would be sure. And really, you need ingenious on this ship here because one wrong shell and half your health is gone. So I really hope that Wargaming gets around to giving us some Pan-Asian cruiser commanders soon. Usually when they, give us a premium ship of a new line, it means that the rest of the line is not far behind. So I'm hoping perhaps next update, maybe the update after, we'll get a Pan-Asian cruiser commander, because this ship is good with a Ding Ru Chang on it. It's not bad at all. But of course I cannot do a full agile build, and I don't go the speed I want, and it's actually quite slow with this build here, and it's just not optimal because this ship here will do well with an agile build, definitely. It's just not possible at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm probably going to put this ship into my bag of potential ships, and then when we get an agile Pan-Asian cruiser commander, I'm going to take it out. And I think the rudder can go down to just about 3 seconds on this thing here, which is faster than Exeter. Of course, it lacks Exeter's heal, and that is a problem. But on the other hand, it has about half the reload time of Exeter. And as you'll see in a minute, the shells are way more precise. Like they are... Sometimes, yes, RNG mucks it up, but most of the time when you're shooting long-range citadels, you're usually going to get them, actually, which is very nice when you compare to Exeter, which can be like very iffy when it comes to accuracy. And it also doesn't have the penetration problems that Exeter does. If you've ever tried facing an Aoba in Exeter, you know that even broadside, like overpens, is just the way it is. You need to shoot at Aobas when they are not completely broadside. That's not a problem in Huanghe. The AP bites, and it's actually quite good. It's almost Russian in its dispersion, really. And of course, the torpedoes are deep water torpedoes, meaning that you cannot torp destroyers, which is a problem because I would like to use this ship here for ranked, but if you're unable to torp destroyers, I don't think that's going to work really well. That's unfortunate, but of course the torps work fine on cruisers and battleships. So it's something you just gotta get used to, I guess. It's a funny quirk on a, in general, funny, quirky ship here. It's definitely fun, and it's definitely different, and it opens up some interesting plays. And here I'm just switching to AP here because there's a de grace, and just trying to get a few cheeky citadels on this guy here before I start entering the B cap. So if this is the first step in the Pan-Asian cruiser range, I'm quite excited, actually. They may not be very tough, and that's fine. They have other qualities, and that crawling smoke is very useful, and that's why I tend to use this ship here as a cap contester, because that's where the smoke really does its best work. When you can, slowly move from one side of the cap to the other cap in full concealment, and you have your sonar to spot destroyers, and if your team knows what you're doing and backs you up, well then this ship here is fantastic. If your team is oblivious or just full of potatoes, well then you might get the cap, but you're not gonna get the full potential of what this ship can do. And I think in a division, this ship here would really excel. If you find some good division mates and play down here at tier 5, yep, it would be, the sky's the limit, really, I think. And here we got Citadel on the de grace, and I know it's not that far away, but dispersion is nice, and it's way more, you can count on it more than in Exeter, that's for sure. Not that Exeter is bad, but there's another one. But if you ever played Exeter, you know the dispersion can be trolly, and it can be really annoying sometimes. This one is way better, and of course the reload is much faster. So taking out destroyers is also a little bit easier. Although Exeter does more damage per salvo because the guns are bigger. They are 2 or 3 millimeter. I believe the guns on this one here is 152s. So anyway, in the end you get like faster reload and less damage on your shells. So it's pretty much the same thing. Depends what you are more interested in. So just take him out with the Citadel there, and then we'll finish capping. So like I said, if this is the start of the Pan-Asian cruiser line, well then I'm very excited, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this battle, guys, and I'll see you out there.